All right, all right. We are live. Already got a couple people in here. That's awesome. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while. I skipped last Sunday for spending time with my son, and then I just kind of been being laying low and enjoying some off time through the holidays. So it's good to be back on here live with you guys. My name's John. This is Carnivore Backwoods. This is our Carnivore Roundtable every Sunday at 1 o'clock. Got some great guests on here with me today. We'll work our way around. Carrie, my metamorphosis, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Got a little bit of a issue going on in my lower back that I'm not really sure what it is, but hey, the show must go on, and I am here. Got my trusty heating pad, and carnivores don't give up, so I'm here, ready to go.
We're glad to have you here, but if you're in too much pain, just let us know. We don't want you suffering.
I can make it for a while. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Moving our way around. Kat, how are you doing today? You feeling better? I know you were sick last week.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It was pretty bad. It started right around Thanksgiving, and then it wiped me out, but I'm back. Just like she said, carnivores, we don't give up. So I'm rolling forward.
Outstanding. And Brett, how are you doing today, sir? Who's your carnivore?
Doing good. It's a lovely Sunday, and I got some steaks thawing out that I'm going to grill up tonight. The weather kind of let up a little bit here, and it's in the 40s, so that's grilling weather in Indiana.
Heat wave.
It's a heat wave. That's right.
Yeah, that sounds like a heat wave for this time of year. It's 55 right now and mostly cloudy here in East Tennessee. Katrina, where are you at? I forget. You're
Colorado.
Colorado. What's the weather like?
I don't know the temperature, but it is beautifully sunny. What do they say? Colorado is sunny 300 and whatever days out of the year. And I'm not positive what the temperature is. I'll have to look and see, but it's gorgeous right now. The snow, it's not warm enough to melt the snow, but.
So you got snow on the ground there?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. No snow here. Thank goodness. Yeah, Carrie, over there in Nashville, your weather's probably similar to mine, but what do you got going on over there?
Very similar, but it sounds like I might have a little more sun. Of course, we had your weather yesterday. It kind of moves eastward. So, yeah, it's about 55 degrees and partly sunny. So, mix of clouds and sun. So it's cool. Not a lot nicer than it was yesterday. Yesterday was pretty dreary.
Outstanding. Well, so the day's conversation is just going to be, us talking about, holiday struggles. Obviously, we just made it through Thanksgiving, which is a big food holiday. And of course, Christmas is just around the corner, which is another big food holiday that, that come back to back. So for Thanksgiving, I ended up doing a prime rib roast and smoked it out in the smoker, and that came out really good. We didn't do it. I actually did smoke some turkey for my wife for work, but we really didn't do turkey this year. What did you guys do for Thanksgiving? To start up with Carrie and just work our way around. What did you do for Thanksgiving, Carrie?
I went to my daughter's. She is a fabulous cook, and she knows how I eat. And she's actually pretty low carb herself. She kind of alternates, sometimes she's keto and sometimes she's low carb. But she had turkey, and I did make a conscious decision. She did not make mashed potatoes, which is one thing that I was going to eat a little bit of. But she did make sweet potatoes. And I had some sweet potatoes and a little bit of turnip greens along with my turkey. And I had also eaten a little bit before I went because typically for Thanksgiving, there's a lot of stuff that it's better that you don't eat. But I did not have any bread. I didn't have any dessert like sweets or anything. But I will tell you, since I sort of rationalized this in my head, and it was not a good idea in retrospect. But since there weren't any mashed potatoes, I was like, oh, that means I can have more sweet potatoes, because those were the two things that I was going to indulge in. So there was no sweets, no grains, no pasta or anything like that. So I did not have any of the macaroni. She made like this 4-cheese macaroni and cheese, which was tempting, but I didn't eat any. So I ate this big giant Craig bowl of sweet potatoes. And while it didn't make me sick, for a couple of days afterward, man, my energy level was just like tanked. I didn't feel like myself. And I mean, that was more sugar than I've probably had in, God, months. So it's like, okay, I'm not going to do that at Christmas. I'm not going to even eat any of that. I'm just not. It's not worth it. It didn't make me sick. It wasn't that, but it was just, I didn't feel like myself. I knew something was different. And I didn't feel as energetic. I didn't feel, I don't know, as peppy and everything like I normally do. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. It was way too much. I mean, it was, Craig is like the reference of the movie Friday, where he, gets the munchies and has that big giant bowl of cereal. Only I had a big giant bowl of sweet potatoes, and it was not a good idea. But it was a great day, though.
Yeah, we all get off diet every once in a while. It's as long as we can jump back, right? Really quick here before I move on, just say hi to Dr. Tony Hampton's in the chat. Dr. Tony, we appreciate you being here, sir. Thanks for joining us. All right. Katrina.
I had the pleasure of meeting
What did you do for Thanksgiving?
Hold on, Brett was saying something. I'm sorry.
Oh, so say I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Hampton at the Chicago meetup. Super nice guy. Yeah.
He's a great guy. I've had him on here. He was on a roundtable with us. He was on a direct interview with me, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to meet up with him directly. One of these meetups, but we'll figure that out. Yeah. But he's a great supporter of the community. That's one of the things I like a lot about Dr. Tony Hampton is, I mean, he's a carnivore. He supports the community. Yep. He's been on multiple channels, and he's always a wealth of information. The man is absolutely brilliant and has an answer for a lot of questions that people have out there. So it's good to have him.
He's very generous with his time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let's Kat, tell us what you did for Thanksgiving, how it went. Did you stay on diet? Did you struggle? What was going on?
Well, so Thanksgiving for me looked very different this year than it has had, because as a vegan, I had things like tofurkey, and then we also had this thing called roast beast, which was a meat, or not meat, but was a vegetable type, which is hilarious that vegans don't eat meat, but everything looks like meat. But anyways, so I assumed that we were going to do turkey because that's what everybody does on Thanksgiving. But my whole family voted no turkey. So we had a leg of lamb that I roasted. And then my daughter did a ham, which was also really good. I made stuffing, and I struggled initially because I always tasted everything as I went, and I tried really hard not to, but there's just no way to cook things when you don't measure, you just have to taste. So I did actually have a little bit of stuffing, and I had a little bit of mashed potatoes because I was tasting them to make sure that they tasted all right. And then the kids all wanted banana pudding, which I make my banana pudding a little bit different. And again, I have tried some of that, and that I didn't need to taste. I just did it because I'm a sugar addict. And when it is in front of me and I have my hands in it, I literally don't have the ability to not eat it. So I also felt like total crap that night and the next day. It may have been that I was coming down with something because I got really sick right after Thanksgiving. But I also was thinking it was food. I was exhausted and just felt horrible. So lamb, ham, the traditional mashed potatoes, stuffing, banana pudding. We didn't do cranberries or anything like that. But I think normally I would have just ate everything in sight and gone back for seconds. And the fact that I really didn't, the lamb filled me up, the ham filled me up. I think that was really good. So I still consider it a win, even though I sneak some things in there.
Outstanding. lamb is excellent, and I don't eat enough of it. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually had lamb. So now you got me thinking about it, that I need to get some lamb and cook it. Brett, how was your Thanksgiving, sir? What'd you end up doing?
It was great. We went to my sister-in-law's house, and I got up at 4 a.m. and smoked a turkey. I spatchcock it, where you cut the spine out and you lay the turkey out flat on the smoker, and I smoked up a 20-pound turkey, and I injected it with butter, and had a rub that I made for it, and it was really, really good. We took that up there and ate, and I did pretty well. I stuck to my diet. I had a bunch of turkey, and my niece, she grows her own little pumpkins and makes pumpkin pie from scratch. And my plan was to have one piece of her pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, and I did that. And then right after I finished it, I had like probably 2 hours. I had sugar cravings like crazy. Just my sweetness cravings, it just kicked right back in. And I ended up having like another half piece, but that was it. And I felt fine afterwards, and my blood sugar didn't spike up too bad. So, and it came back down again. So it was good. I didn't feel really any worse for wear afterwards, but having those sugar cravings kick back in, that was a wake up call to just how quickly and how sensitive I still am to it.
It's crazy how you just get a little bit off, and then suddenly you just start having cravings. And some people have it worse than others. Some people, the sugar cravings are hard for them to overcome. So I assume that you made it through and you didn't have any more sugar after that.
No, I didn't. I was good. And, it was kind of a smaller get together. So there weren't quite as many desserts and temptations, but, there was green bean casserole, and there was some cranberry stuff and other things, but I really don't get into eating those anyway. So I was able to pretty much stay on track. And I had turkey, and I ate probably a half a stick of butter along with the turkey.
That's good.
Even though the turkey, it was really juicy. And if you've never smoked a turkey before, it's just really fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Did
you smoke it, or did I miss that part? Did you smoke that turkey, or did somebody else?
I did. Yeah.
Did you brine it
first? On my big ceramic kettle smoker. And I've done that, I think 4 years in a row now. And
you brined it?
Thanksgiving. Yep. Brined it for 24 hours, and then spatchcocked it and smoked it for, I think it took about 6 hours to smoke it and get it up to temperature. Nice. But it was wonderful. Basted it with butter, and yeah.
All right, so now we're all hungry. Let's go to lunch now. So, for those of you that don't know, and I smoke turkey from time to time too. I actually smoked those turkey breasts for my wife. If you got to brine it. It don't even matter if you smoke it. If you're going to cook a turkey in the oven, you're going to cook a turkey. Period. Brine it 24 hours, because turkeys get dry in storage. When you freeze them and you cook and you store a turkey, they actually get dry. And so when you cook a turkey and you might like, oh my goodness, you overcooked this turkey, it's dry as hell. No, actually no, the turkey was dry in the first place. And when you cooked it, all you do is there was no moisture in it. So when you brine it for that 24-hour period, you add some moisture back into the turkey. It'll be the best turkey you ever ate, whether you cook it in the oven or put it in a smoker, however you want to do it. Brining is absolutely key for a good turkey.
Yeah, and brining, it's pretty easy. There's all kinds of recipes, and you just cook it up on the stove and get it all the spices and salt and everything in there, and then you let it cool off and dump it into the cooler with the turkey, and it does all the work for you.
Yeah, I use a 5-gallon bucket, and I will, food grade, obviously. And then I will put the turkey in there with the brine, and then I'll normally put a plate on top of it with some weight, probably a jug of water to press it down so it doesn't float.
Yep.
Snap the lid on, and then I'll stick it outside because it's cold, and it's nothing can get into it, and that'll keep it cool overnight so that it has plenty of time to brine out.
It is good.
So let's jump through the comments here really quick and see who's in here and do some shout outs. I see that Callie's in here. How are you doing, Callie? Good to see you. Gonna have some updates on the BB&E. Callie had me in the BB&E challenge from last month, and that was fun. But I was hoping to lose some weight, but I am still in a stall, and we'll talk about that in a minute here. Let's see who else we got here. Sandra, how are you doing today? Meeting Wellness. Christy, hey, I sent you an email. Check it out real quick if you're interested. And of course, we all said hi to Dr. Tony Hampton. Let's see. How are you doing today? And we got Karen. Hey, Karen, how are you doing? We got Jill. Jill D is in here. That's right. Nice shirt. I'm wearing Chrissy's shirt today. It's time for a steak over. Keto Simple. Hey everyone, how are you doing? I think it's the first time I've seen you in here. I appreciate you being here today.
Keto Simple is from Indiana, and he did a meetup that I went to a couple months ago. Real nice people.
Sweet. Glad he's here. Thanks for joining us. My Apex Odyssey, how are you doing today? All right. Any questions? Make sure you put a Q in front of them. I'm going to be looking for Qs now that we've done some shout outs to everybody. I don't see anybody else. Well, we got James here. Hey James, how you doing today? We got Martin. How you doing today? And we got Tiffany. How are you doing today? Hey guys, put in the comments, what you guys did for Thanksgiving. Did you do the standard turkey, or did you do something else? How did you get through your Thanksgiving and stay on diet without getting too far off? And if you did get off diet, did you have any struggles? We'd love to know. All right, guys. All right. So, anyways, I did the BB&E challenge up through Thanksgiving. And of course, we did a prime rib, so I was still within my BB&E because we actually went to that into that weekend. And I was expecting to hopefully lose some weight, but I had a weird thing here, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out where I went. I made it down to 265, which was 80 pounds down, and then I had a big weight gain. I went back to almost 285, and then I worked my way back down to 270, 275, and I have bounced back and forth at that weight for over a month now. And this morning I'm 274, and I can't seem to get below it. So I've been in the stall. I ate beef, bacon, and eggs, and of course I'm still drinking my coffee, and maybe that's something that I need to do. Maybe I might go off coffee for a month and see what happens, because I have a lot of weight that I still want to lose, but I'm definitely in a stall pattern. Any of you guys had anything similar like that going on?
No, nothing like that really for me. Of course, I'm not really trying to lose weight or anything, but I will tell you that after eating my big giant Craig bowl of sweet potatoes, I have not eaten anything else off plan, and I feel so much better for it. And actually, I enjoy eating what I eat. I like my thick cut bacon, for example, and I've been eating beef bacon lately along with regular bacon. I'm able to find it at Kroger. So I do eat that, and not that my meals are that exciting. Sometimes it's the ground beef with eggs, and then sometimes it's just, burger patties with my Redmond's garlic salt on it. But I have stayed on plan since Thanksgiving, and I feel so much better for doing that, for sure.
Absolutely. Brett, have you had any slowdowns on your weight loss or hold ups on it?
Yeah, I've been kind of at the same weight for the last couple months. For November, I did, and I pretty well stuck to it. I did like a 1 meal a day kind of thing. I didn't do it every day, but probably 20 days of the month I did, and didn't really make too big of a difference. But I find I lose the most weight when I fast. So at the end of the year, or at the beginning of next year on 1/1, I'm planning to do at least probably a 7 or 9 day fast. Doing another extended fast. My longest one's been 8 days. So I thought maybe I'll do 9 this next time. And I know I'll lose weight doing that. It seems like, doing carnivore, I'll maintain my weight. I won't really gain. I won't really lose. It'll just fluctuate 2 or 3 pounds up and down. And then when I fast, I'll lose 8 or 10 or 12. And then it'll bounce back a couple pounds. And then I'll maintain that weight loss. So, for 2024, I think I'm going to try to work out some kind of fasting regimen where I'll do maybe a monthly 5 or 6 day fast and do that for a few months and just see how my weight, if it stair steps down or, how it's going to work. But yeah, carnivore is definitely, working for me, but not as a weight loss plan. It's more maintenance and just general health and feeling good, but I'm not losing a lot of weight on it. But
not now. I mean, in the beginning you were.
So
in the beginning you were that, and so John Wood, you probably know him. He brought up a really good point in a video he did the other day. Is it a winter thing? Are people's weight loss slow down when the weather gets cold? And so that's something we're going to discuss next Sunday. And I'm fascinated to get people's input on it. I don't know if Dr. Tony's still in here or not, but have you seen something like that where winter slows people's ability to lose weight down because of the colder months? You need that energy just to keep your body warm. So it's interesting to find out, and I haven't had a chance to do any research into it, but it is a discussion that we're planning on having next week. Kat, how about you? Have you had any struggles with lately with losing weight?
Well, I'm sure it's probably the same for men, but for women, our weight constantly goes up and down anyways through through the normal monthly cycles. But I pretty much stalled out. I mean, I lost initially a lot of weight in that first 90 days. And then now it's going down, but very, very slow. It seems like it'll go down. And I try not to weigh myself very often because I didn't do the carnivore diet to lose weight, even though I desperately needed to. And even if I stayed this weight forever, the way that I feel now is so much better that I think that I would probably be okay with that. But would I love to? Yes, I would love to be skinny again. But for me, I notice that my weight will go down in increments of ounces. Like, for instance, it may be 192.4, and then I'll go down a week and it'll stay that way. And then maybe a week later, it'll be 0.2. So it's just minuscule, but it is still on the downward trend. And even after my Thanksgiving, but weirdly, I was sick and I was hardly eating anything at all. And I would have thought for sure, well, then again, I really don't eat a lot anyhow, but I would have thought for sure that if I stepped on the scale, I would have lost, as bad as I felt, 10 pounds, but I didn't. I didn't lose anything at all. So I don't know, maybe I'm storing it for the winter like a bear.
Well, that's the question. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe we all pack on weight. I mean, every year, holidays, right? Everybody packs on weight. It's the yearly curse between Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. But we eat a lot of garbage during that time if we're on the standard American diet. So we've always chalked it off to this is just because we're eating all this this extra food. But maybe some of it's because your metabolism slows down some in this time of year. I don't know. That's a question to be asked. Let me get a question here. I'll throw this in here. Does anyone use an app to track their progress? I'd be interested in knowing. I do not use an app whatsoever. I don't count calories. I don't count macros. I count what I know has sugar in it and what doesn't. So, I try to keep my carbs below 5 grams, of carbs a day max. And most of the time it's closer to 0. How about you, Carrie? You use any type of app?
No, I don't use an app either. And there again, I basically eat about the same thing. Now, if they're talking about tracking progress in terms of like weight loss and stuff like that, I mean, I don't have a suggestion either, but I wasn't sure whether they were talking about tracking like macros and what they eat or tracking progress as to like how they're doing. So I really wasn't sure, but I don't use an app for either.
Yeah, I use an app for tracking my blood pressure, and I use an app for tracking my weight. But not for anything related to the food side.
Yeah, and I do check and track my blood pressure, but I mean, that's just stored on the blood pressure device. And then I do have a glucometer or a glucose tester, where I haven't consistently done that, but in the past I had done it and it stored the readings in there. But other than that, I don't really track anything.
And I don't use an app, but I keep everything in a book still. I had to get a new one because my other one was full. But I tried using apps initially when I was tracking my macros and stuff, but I quickly gave up on that because I was using MyFitnessPal and it tracks your weight and stuff too, but it was constantly telling me that I wasn't eating enough calories or whatever. So I stopped. So I take pictures and I track my blood pressure and when I check my glucose, which I don't even really do anymore. But I write it all down because I'm kind of an old school girl, I guess.
Now I do have, and I don't have it like right here handy, but Nicole from Former Fat Girl, she has a like a food journal thing, and I did do that for a month because I'm actually trying to put on weight, and I was thinking that I was eating more than I really was because it is easy to undereat when you're carnivore because the meat and fat are so filling. And so while I do my body weight exercises and all of that, so I did track in there for about a month in that journal what I was eating. And it was an eye opener. There were some days where I barely ate anything. And I've always had weird eating habits anyway. Like some days I can eat a steak with 3 eggs at the Mexican restaurant, then turn around and eat a couple more burger patties and eat, 6 slices of bacon. Then the next day I might not eat anything.
Oh yeah.
And that's just how my eating habits have always been that way. But it was really funny without actually looking at it though. I didn't realize that I really wasn't eating as much as I thought I was.
And that can actually affect your weight loss too, at least from our perspective. Because I know for me, when I started, I struggled really bad trying to eat enough fat. Like I couldn't get my mind around it. Yeah. And I noticed that once I started eating more and more fat, then I had like another jump down in weight loss again. And that's a struggle because especially when in the beginning I felt so sick all the time, so I didn't want to eat anything. So you're just like, but it's hard. It's hard to know that you actually need to eat more of that than you think you do.
It definitely is hard. Sometimes you think, well, I got to eat less if I want to lose weight, and when actually you probably need to eat a little bit more. Your body's locked up because you're not eating enough food. Brett, how about you? Do you use any type of app or anything?
No, I used to use Carb Manager when I did keto years ago. But now I pretty much know, I eat once or twice a day, and I just kind of follow the Dr. Berry rule where I eat until I'm full or the food just doesn't taste good anymore, and then I stop eating. So that's pretty much what I do, what I go by.
Okay. I would say that the big thing that I would say is most of these apps, they're not based on carnivore. They're all based around calorie counting. They're all based around, numbers that mean absolutely nothing for us on the carnivore diet. So the app doesn't really help that much. You try to get these things and like I was saying here is, it's telling you need to eat more of this or you're eating too much of that. those numbers don't really matter to us because they're different. They're based on a different dieting system, the starvation diet, where you're trying to starve yourself into being skinny. And then of course some of us are coming at this diet completely from different approaches. I'm coming at it originally as a weight loss, but then as a health improvement. Some of us are coming from weight loss, health improvement. For Carrie here, she was never overweight. She's coming at it from a completely different perspective, not only about health, but, she actually wants to put on a little bit of weight. So it's a completely different diet for her than it is for me or Brett or for Kat. So everybody has a different way of coming at it. And that's why I like these roundtables, because we get a lot of different opinions on the same diet. If you guys got questions, please put some cues in front of it. I'm looking for it. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, go over to these other channels, and hit their like button, their subscribe button, and give them some support. And let's see what we got in here. Sanchez says we don't have Thanksgiving, but funny enough, a friend trying to derail me brought me some New York cheese, and I ate it, and you guys did better than me. Good for y'all.
Dag nabbit, I ate it.
Dag damn it, I ate it. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's the struggle this time of the year. The question is, did you go out and buy another one, and are you eating a whole bunch of it? I mean, that's the struggle. I mean, we all do some things off diet from time to time. It's going to happen. It's just how we recover from it that matters.
Yeah, that is very important. We're all human, and none of us, I don't care who they are, nobody is perfect. And the trick is, and sometimes it's hard, especially when there are cravings involved. And I can't speak personally necessarily to the cravings, but what I can say is it's easy to kind of slide down. But if you catch yourself, if you have an oops and you just say, well, okay, I messed up, and A, what could I maybe do to prevent that in the past? But then B, just forgive yourself, and then just, don't slide down further. And of course, obviously, I'm not talking about any type of disordered eating or anything like that. But just like if you're pretty consistent on your diet, but then, oops, you ate a big Craig bowl of sweet potatoes like somebody I know did. You just forgive yourself and then you move on. Yeah.
That's what I always say. Give yourself some grace. It's, you got to do what you got to do.
If you're going to you can't beat yourself up all over this. I mean, you got to understand that every day is a new day, and every day, you're going to do what you got to do. And if yesterday wasn't the best day, then hopefully today's going to be better, and just keep building from there. Let's see here. This one says Steak and Butter Gang encourages prepping for weight loss stalls. They say that some people aren't eating enough. I thought that too, and I actually increased my eating a little bit to see if that would help it. I'm locked up. I'm seen to be in a stall, but I need to do a good fast. The longest fast I've done is 48 hours. We've talked about going 3 days, but me and the wife try to do them together, so it's a mutual agreement. Excuse me. The longest water fast is 21. My longest water fast is 21 days. That's a really, really long.
Woo!
I tip my hat to you on that one, because that's a really long fast. I don't know where I get this.
But you were having some visions and stuff. Were you out in the woods, pondering the meaning of life? Wow.
Let's see what else we got in here, guys. What else you guys got going on? Kat, what do you got going on this week? What's your plans for your channel?
Well, I took a hiatus there with nothing going on. So I actually, when I came back out here to Colorado, I had to go to the doctor to establish care. And so I had all my labs run. I let her know what I was doing. So I'm going to post a video about those, comparing, because I don't know if anybody has seen my channel, but I'm the one that had the triglycerides that were like up in the 800s and just a lot of really bad numbers. And then I've had them checked since starting Carnivore, and now I've been on Carnivore since mid-July, so now this is a good time for me to check. So I'm going to post that video. And I have a couple other things. I do a lot of like the what I eat in a day kind of things and some recipes that I need to post, and really just some things on how I'm dealing with the holidays. I mean, I have my grandbaby out here and I want to take him and to go do everything because I missed so much of, he's 4 now and I've missed all of these years. And so everywhere you go for the holidays is food, junk food, candies, sweets, which is going to be really hard for me, but I'm going to do some videos of how I handle those kind of things too. And kind of getting back into it because I've just been, I haven't been doing anything. I haven't even looked at YouTube since Thanksgiving. So trying to ease my way back into it.
I have a lot of YouTube to catch up on too. Been busy for me.
Holiday season's always busy, but
I wasn't busy. I was dying.
those running YouTube channels, that they take up a lot of your time thinking about videos that you want to create, creating content, editing videos, live streams, interviews. You start putting all this together, it starts taking up a lot of your time, and that's where I got. I took last Sunday off, but then I was just like, I could just feel I was exhausted. I needed a break from it. So I had a couple lives scheduled this week. Kat wasn't feeling good, so we rescheduled that, and then I was supposed to have one with Christy from Eating Wellness, but my schedule got screwed up on it, so we didn't have that one. So otherwise, I took the whole week off. I hadn't even opened up and looked at my channel to see what my numbers were or anything. So, but it's good to be back. And I got some cool stuff. I have, and I'm going to be doing a video on it. I have, if you guys aren't aware, Dr. Kiltz makes coffee cups. And you don't get to order, but something that you can physically look at. It's a mystery cup. You order a color that you like, and then they'll send it to you. So I ordered 2 of Kiltz's coffee cups. It's supposed to be here Monday. I have no idea what they're going to look at, so I'm going to do an unboxing video, and I will post that on my channel next week. To see what coffee cups I got for Christmas, because I have no idea what's coming.
Does he make them? Like he does the
yeah, absolutely. He has a pottery wheel, him and I believe his wife, and they make Kiltz's cups, and they sell them. They're reasonably priced. I have no affiliation with it. I don't make anything off it for promoting it for him. He's just, I love Dr. Kiltz, and so I ordered a couple cups. Like I said, according to tracking with the post office, they're going to be here Monday, but knowing the post office as well as I do, that doesn't mean they won't be here by Friday. They'll send it around. I tracked one package one time. They sent it to Ohio before they got it back down to Tennessee. Let's see here.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I have way too many coffee cups, but I'm not sure if that's a thing. I just love coffee cups.
Let's see. Former fat girl's in the house, aka the short butter girl. She is in the house. So hey, Nicole, how are you doing today? And then we got a question here. What state y'all located? Brisbane, Louisiana here, Lafayette area. So I am in Knoxville, Tennessee, east side of the state. And I'm actually north of Knoxville. I'm in a little rural county called Granger County. You guys some of you may have heard of Granger County tomatoes. That's a big popular thing out here, is there's lots of tomatoes grown. Carrie, where are you at?
I'm right outside of Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm a semi-neighbor of yours, and I am familiar with your county, though, because I deal, with all of the counties in my line of work. So anyway, cool. Yeah. So anyway, I know where you are. I know where that old town is.
And Brett, where are you at?
I'm in central Indiana near Indianapolis. And we also are kind of famous for, Indiana's kind of famous for their tomatoes too. If you ever heard of Rolled Gold ketchup, all their tomatoes are grown here. There's a huge facility here where they make ketchup. Yeah.
It's a big thing here in the county, growing tomatoes. They have a tomato festival every year. I think they have a parade for tomatoes. Yeah, it's a big thing. All right. And Kat, where are you at?
Well, I just moved from Texas. I was in Waco, Texas, but now I'm in a town called Greeley, Colorado, which you may not know that name, but I'm sure everybody knows Estes Park. So pretty close to Estes Park, Colorado. I don't know what it's known for. I think beef, maybe there's a lot of cows here, but I don't really know what it's known for. What it's known for is that my grandbaby lives here. So,
So are you in
now
the
it's known.
Are you in the eastern part of Colorado that's flat, or are you in the mountainous area?
I'm in the foothills. It's very mountainous. Right outside our windows is the mountain range. It's gorgeous.
Cool.
Well, now it's known for Meat Fueled Living, YouTube channel. So there it is. All right, we got another question here. What type of scale do you guys use? Mine fluctuates depending on where I place my feet. It's so annoying.
I don't know what brand it is, but it has lines like on it, and I make sure I put my feet exactly in the same spot with those lines or my toes because I noticed the same thing.
I bought one off of Amazon sometime back, and it actually a Bluetooth. I don't even Bluetooth it to my phone anymore, but it was supposed to Bluetooth to your phone, so you have an app on there and stuff. It's fairly accurate as long as I keep it on a hard surface. But if you put it on a carpeted surface, you can get on it 3 times to get 3 different measurements on it. What about you, Brett? You got what scale are you running?
I have a Weight Watchers brand scale that I found at Goodwill, and I use it. It's glass. It's kind of a nice looking scale, and it's pretty accurate. It works pretty well.
What about you, Carrie?
I don't own a scale. I haven't had one in probably, I don't know, years. I just don't have one. So if I want to weigh myself, I either track what I weigh at the doctor's office, or once in a while, if I'm just curious, I'll use my daughter's scale. Because I see her quite a bit. She just lives a couple miles away. So, if I'm at her house and I get curious, I'll just hop on her scale.
It's better to measure. I mean, for those of us that are losing weight, my clothes, even though I haven't lost any weight over the last month, my clothes all fit looser. So I know I've lost some girth and some mass. So, it's a weird thing. Weight loss is weird, and the scales, the scale just lies to you anyway. So.
Yeah, because you don't know. I mean, like I said, your weight fluctuates every day normally anyways. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it depends on when I take my, I'm still taking one blood pressure pill, and if I forget to take that, I take it late, my weight will go up because I'll hold more water. Then I'll take the pill, and of course, within a half an hour after that, I will get rid of the water, and so that'll change my weight. Just it all fluctuates. For women, hormones will fluctuate your weight up and down, throughout the day, throughout the week. Whether you're on your cycle or getting close to it can change your weight. So there's a lot to it. Let's see here. I'm looking for questions, guys. Anybody's got any questions? Please put some Q's in front of it. Brett, what do you got going on your channel? What do you got planned for coming through the rest of the month into the new year, sir?
Well, I've got a making bacon video that I've had in the can for a while. I'm going to try to get it up maybe later today. I'm going to try to get it done and finished. I had to film it in a bunch of little parts, and I'm having some trouble kind of editing it all together because I'm still pretty new at this. But that, and I wanted to kind of start doing this again, kind of doing some interviews and roundtable discussions. And I had an idea. I was going to call it the Meat Locker Hangout, where I'd send this background to the people that are going to be on the show, and then we all have like the Meat Locker background, and we all kind of like
that's cool.
Hanging out in the Meat Locker together. So probably look for some invitations coming up, maybe after Christmas when things settle down.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll be there.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I'll sit with a bunch of meat behind me.
Yeah, there you go. It's real easy to change the background in StreamYard. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm running my wolf background, and I got a couple others. I've got to come up with a Christmas theme one.
There you go.
So, and then you can make it the background on the videos. So the blacked out areas here, in between our videos, you can actually make that the meat locker too. So we could have meat locker on meat locker.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very meaty.
Maybe I'll make you up some graphics and send it to you so you can throw it up as as banners and stuff. We'll go crazy with the meat locker theme.
That'd be wonderful.
All right, let's see here. I got another question. Any personal goals for the new year? So my goal is I want to push my weight farther down. I feel amazing. My health is amazing. I got a little bit of a sinus thing going on right now. I think it's just allergies and stuff. This time of year in Tennessee, there's still things that are causing me some allergy problems. But my personal goal right now is I want to hit 245 into the new year. Right now I'm sitting at 275, so I want to lose another 30 pounds. Preferably before March 1st, which would be my 1 year anniversary on the diet. But things have slowed down, but we'll just see how it goes. I'm thinking about getting off coffee for a month and seeing how that affects my diet. I know it's a big one for me because I love my coffee.
Me too.
And my wife's looking at me probably with cross eyes from behind me right now, going, "Yeah, like that's going to happen." But we're going to think about it. Whether or not it happens, I haven't committed to it yet. So those are my goals. Carrie, what's your goals for into the new year?
Well, for one, I am going to continue working on just various ways to try to get some shape, just tweaking my diet some. But then also in my mental health, I'm wanting to be more, focus on my creative side. I used to, in my youth, paint and draw a lot. And I've sort of gotten back into that with this channel, like, designing logos and things. I used to love to do that kind of thing, as a teenager and young adult. And of course, when you're adulting and working full time, et cetera, sometimes or at least a lot of people I know anyway, their creative side kind of tends to be pushed by the wayside. And I also used to enjoy writing. So I'm going to focus on some of those things. And I do have a domain name. So I'm wanting to start a blog and actually do some writing on there. So
cool stuff. Kat, what are your goals? Coming into the new year.
Having been I'm a veteran, so my whole life I've always been very active, doing a lot of stuff. And then as I got sicker and sicker and sicker and became a piece of furniture in my house, I couldn't do any of those things that I used to really love to do. And now, like hiking and mountain biking or just trail riding and doing all that kind of stuff, I've always just been a really outsidesy kind of person. I mean, I grew up in northern Michigan. We were hunting and fishing and just doing all of that stuff. And I haven't been able to do it for years. And my daughter and my grandbaby, they're always out in the mountains hiking and doing stuff. And I'm really looking forward to feeling well enough that I can lace up those boots and go with them and maybe have a hope of keeping up, because right now, I mean, actually, I feel a lot better now, and I definitely know that I could, but I miss those things. And I used to love to ride a bike and just be outside. I'm an outside kind of person. So for me, my goal is, even if I don't lose another pound, but willing that I do, but even if I don't, just feeling well enough to be part of all of the things that are going on around me, instead of, like I said, turning into a fixture in my house, which is what I have been for the last couple of years. And for me, that's my goal. I'm a big writer too, though, Carrie. I have a blog and I write a lot, and I'm hoping to actually be able to focus more on that because of my mental health and my inability to be able to stay focused on things. I have untreatable ADHD because I have a heart condition, so I can't take the medications for it. So for me, it's very hard to stay on task and do that type of stuff. But I've noticed such a huge difference in my mental health and my ability to stay on task since being on the carnivore, that I'm actually hoping to be able to do that again. So I can totally relate to that. And so those are my 2024 goals.
Cool. Outstanding. Brett, what are your 2024 goals into the new year here?
Well, one is to do, the Meat Locker Hangout on my channel. Maybe start just try to be a little more consistent on making content. And then as far as weight loss, I'm going to start off the new year, with an extended fast. And I was going to do a promotion for it on my channel and just see like what other channels wanted to get on it and just kind of team up and, do some type of fasting thing between a bunch of different channels, see who wanted to maybe participate in that. And then probably, for the year, I wanted to kind of work out a better regiment for eating and fasting and just try to just, I don't know, be a little more focused. I've been kind of loose with what I'm eating and when, and I don't know. I've got some ideas, but just kind of need to focus in. I think if I focus in a little harder, I can break through this stall and actually start losing a little more weight. Because I've still got, I don't know, about 60, 70 more pounds I want to lose to reach my goal. And, that's not going to happen by just being unfocused. So
no, you got to have a goal. You have to have a plan. Otherwise, it's just a dream. So
right.
you got to. Yeah.
And I'd love to be down probably another 30 pounds by the time I hit my 1 year carniversary on St. Patrick's Day.
Carniversary.
I like that.
We all just coined a term that's going to get used now. Carniversary.
Carniversary, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
St. Patrick's Day will be my 12 months.
All right. So everybody in the comments, post your carniversary date. When is your carniversary date? Let us know. All right.
I see a question from someone named Daniel.
I'm at timestamp 1:38 Eastern right now. Me grab a couple and I'll work my way down. Yeah, but give me a time frame and I'll be looking for it. Susan says, what's that?
It's at 12:49 my time, so I guess it'd be 1:49 yours.
Yeah, so I'm close. Okay, I'll be right there. So Susan says she went to a meetup in Cincinnati in Northern Kentucky meetup yesterday. A couple of them met you at Keto Palooza. I was unaware of that one. I hadn't seen that one. I did see one here a month or so back that happened there on the Kentucky Ohio border that I wasn't able to go to. But heck, I wish I had known about that. I might have made a trip up there.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of which, and Carrie's on here with me, February the 11th, I'm going to be in Nashville on the 10th for work-related business, but I'm going to stay overnight. And then February the 11th, I want to get together for a meetup, a luncheon meetup. So if anybody's interested in doing that, and meeting, and Carrie and me have been talking about getting together at that time. So we'll get a group of us together at a restaurant, try to get a big table so we can all sit together. Of course, everybody will be paying their own way, but we'll all get together and talk. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, shoot me an email at carnivorebackwoods, at gmail.com and let me know, that you're interested, and I will start putting together a list, and then I will finalize the RSVP on that so that we know how many people's coming. So reach out to us or reach out to Carrie on her channel and let her know if you're interested. And we definitely want to do some more meetups. That'll be a February one, and then I'm thinking about doing one here local in the Knoxville area in the spring, summer's time, where we can do something outdoors once the weather gets better. All right. What else? Question. You guys done any meetups in your guys' area?
I was going to ask Susan to post in the comments who organizes that Northern Kentucky meetup, because I'm only 2 hours from Cincinnati, Kentucky area, probably not even that. And I would love to participate in that. If you can pose to organizes that event, I'd love to get in touch with them.
Yeah, and I had several people express an interest in doing something like more of an event type thing in Nashville sometime like in the late spring. But there again, we're just right now just sort of gauging exactly how many people would be interested, because that would really determine how many people. And so in other words, like right now, it would be in June, either the second, third, or fourth week of June, weekend in June. The first week, there's another keto event. I think it's, I can't remember now which one it is. Maybe, I don't remember which one, but so we didn't want to conflict with another event is my point. So right now we've got like a little group of about 10 of us that are interested, but if we wanted to expand it into something bigger, like maybe even try to get speakers, of course, we would have to have more interest. So if anybody is interested, go to the community page on my channel and just let me know that you're interested so that we can move on to the next step, or at least know what size, because if it's only going to be like 10 or 12 of us, then obviously it's going to be a smaller scale and we would just do maybe more of like a meal type meetup or something. But if we have a larger interest, then we could possibly expand it into something where maybe we could try to get Dr. Barry or something like that. So
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm about,
I'm not that far away, so
drive
let me know.
okay.
Something like that. So doable.
You could come down in February if you want, Brett. You know, he's a
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrote it down so I can check into that. See how that's going to work out. Yeah.
You know, it's serious of John if he's thinking about getting off coffee. Yeah, absolutely. Because I've already had my couple cups of coffee this morning. And I'm still thinking about a third one, but I probably won't. Let's see here. Question. What's that?
I think the key to getting off coffee is to have a substitute. So if you just don't have coffee and then just don't have anything else, you'll probably end up going back to coffee. But if you have a substitute, then that might help.
I don't know what that would be because all I drink is water and my coffee in the morning.
Maybe
the rest of the day, all I drink is water.
Maybe
Now, and occasionally, sometimes I'll drink an unsweet tea, but that's normally just when I'm out, and we have dinner somewhere out, and and you want something to drink, and I don't want to drink, tap water from these places.
Right.
So, I'll normally have an unsweet tea with dinner. So I don't know. It's something I'll think about. I'm sure I could pull it off if I wanted to. I've gone long periods of time without drinking coffee, and but that was before I started this diet, so we'll see. All right, question here is if you slip on carnivore diet for a couple of days, do you go through keto flu all over again? So my answer to that, and we'll go around the table here and see what everybody else thinks, is probably a little bit, but it won't be anything like the first time, because you just got to get over. You didn't have as much in your system. You wasn't years and years of bad eating, and then you went through keto flu and you had it, you were basically, we call it keto flu, but what it really is detoxing. You're coming down off your sugar drug, and you're having those reactions to it. And so getting back on it and then coming off, I would say that you're still going to have some of those reactions, that I don't think they would be as dramatic as they are the first time. Now, I've gone off and had, something here or there, like for my birthday, I had a piece of cheesecake, and I had some of Kils's ice cream, and I added sugar to it because I just can't eat the plain ice cream. It just doesn't do it for me. So I didn't have any keto flu afterwards, but I wasn't heavily addicted to sugar. What about you, Brett? What do you think?
Well, you got to think, what causes a keto flu in the first place. And that's, years of abuse and sugar addiction. And then, like you said, going through the withdrawal symptoms. If it's just a couple of days, I would say no, unless you really fell off the wagon hard. But yeah, like for me, having the pumpkin pie, I was no worse for wear afterwards. Now, if I would have fallen off the wagon for like a week or two and just gone back to eating garbage and McRibs and Doritos and all that, yeah, I'd probably go through a little bit of withdrawal and keto flu again. But for a couple of days, I would probably say for most people, not. If you're really sensitive, possible.
I agree. I think the worst one for me is we went wine tasting up in Gatlinburg, and they had some of those sweet slushy with wine in them, and I drank one of those, and for the next day or two, I just felt like I was dragging my butt on the ground. I mean, it's just, I was in a bad way. But that was probably the worst for me. Kat, how about you?
Well, I have fallen off the wagon a couple times, and not one time did I get what I would call the keto flu back, or that flu symptoms back. Now, after Thanksgiving, I felt horrible, but I don't know if it was because of the stuff that I snacked on, or because, like I said, I got really sick after Thanksgiving. I have had it back when I was still really struggling with the sugar and eating the sugar, where I would feel kind of, I have arthritis, so I would feel it in my joints, especially in my hands and stuff. But I've never gone full out. But then again, I don't know that I ever really had horrible keto flu, because I made sure that I kept my electrolytes in balance and everything when I was doing that. And so I can't ever really say that I had it in the first place, at least not really, really bad. But no, I haven't had any instances where it's gone back to what it would have been, just starting out.
All right. And Carrie, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, same here. I haven't had it to where I've just actually, just had the whole keto flu where you're hungover or anything. But I will tell you that, for example, after eating, and it was a very large bowl of sweet potatoes, and I could have had much worse. So I'm not beating myself up over it, but I just know that with the volume and how sweet those sweet potatoes were, I really did feel an effect afterward. So while I didn't have keto flu per se, I felt a little draggier, just not as energetic as normal. And I also think it does, if you slip for a couple of days, I guess it depends on just how much of what exactly it is that you ate for that couple of days, because you can feel kind of crappy a few days afterward. Where you're not necessarily having keto flu, but you notice it. You notice a big difference. Absolutely.
So I'm going to need your guys' help with this next question, because I'm not sure what this is. So we got, how do these people who say they got off their SSRI meds so easily? I'm in withdrawals at the moment and feel horrible. Do you know anyone who did this successfully, please? So I don't know what an SSRI med is.
Antidepressant, and I don't think that you should get off of those without your doctor,
Right.
Because if you just stop those, I used to take them. If you just stop those, you can cause a lot of problems. But if your doctor is weaning you off of them slowly, I got off of mine, but I had to go very, very slowly. And I feel like the carnivore diet has helped my depression and anxiety, but it took a long time to get off of them. You can't just stop them. They mess with a lot of your body systems.
Yeah, you have to actually have dosage reductions, and there's supervision by your doctor, and you're checking in and just making sure, because if you just quit them cold turkey, that can have a disastrous result.
Yeah.
And you certainly don't want that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a doctor question. I would reach out to your doctor about coming off them. You can always go into one of the doctor's channels and ask them during one of their live streams. But yeah, my thoughts on it, and now that I understand what it is you're going to have to come off of it very slowly. Even when I came off my medications, I had to come off them in a slow amount for my blood pressure and whatnot, so that I didn't shock my body. Brad, you got anything you want to throw on that?
I just say she didn't really say if she just quit cold turkey or not, but I would call your doctor on Monday and let them know what's going on and you're having withdrawals and what you should do next.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got
Sure.
we got a question here for Kat. Did you notice if zero carb life helped your ADD?
Yes. I have SVT, and so I take a medication that's a beta blocker that actually controls, which is basically my heart races very, very fast. And so not only does it control my blood pressure, but it controls my SVT. But because of that, I can no longer take or cannot take the medications for the ADHD. And it has been a running joke in my house for many, many years that I would just go all over the place. I'd start something. I mean, it's funny that you see these memes where, you're out in the kitchen and you're starting to do the dishes, and then you see that there's something sitting there, and then you go there and you go there. And that's a real life. That actually is how it is. And even talking, I would just go really, really fast and then off topic all over the place, which you see, I still do that. But I think that my whole family would tell you that since starting the carnivore diet, I've been able to concentrate. And again, I always say this, it's literally a miracle to me because I would have to take all these medicines just so that I could barely function. And now I'm taking meat, bacon, and steak, and I'm able to carry on conversations. I can finish my craft projects that I have 52,000 of them sitting all over the place that are not finished. I can finish my chores. And the only thing that I'm doing is the carnivore diet. I don't take any other medications except for my SVT and blood pressure medicine, and everything else I am now off of. So does it help? Absolutely. How it helps, I don't know. But even my depression, my anxiety, all of it, I couldn't leave the house. And now I'm talking about going to the North Pole, my grandbaby. So, just these things, it does. It does. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily a zero carb because I put a little bit of heavy cream and stuff in my coffee. So I do have very low carb as opposed to zero carb, but still it is, you guys tell me, why is it happening? I don't know. It just is. It's crazy.
And you've only been doing it, you've been on carnivore, 5 months?
July 19th was my carnivore.
And you've already noticed that. I mean, just think of what it's going to be when you get to your carniversary in another 7 months.
I know. I'm excited. I can't imagine. I'm just.
I think we should do that. Every time we have a roundtable, we're just going to open up and ask people what their carniversary dates is. And if it's close, we're going to wish them happy carniversary. It's better than your birthday.
I'm stealing that, Brett. Yes, that was an amazing word. I'm going to steal it.
Yeah. I think it's the sugar. It's the... it affects so many parts of our body. It affects our mind with brain fog. You hear people talking about all the time, and, joints and inflammation and, who knows what all, the human body is very complex, and who knows what all, this unnatural sugar and carb content is doing to us. And, I've heard a lot of people talk about, and even with me, I don't have ADD, but even my focus is better, in the 8 months I've been on it. So good things.
Yeah,
That's
same
funny.
here. I've noticed the big difference in my focus. I've never been formally diagnosed with anything, but I can tell you I identify a lot with what Kat said in terms of you go to the kitchen to do the dishes, and then you see, I need to put these vitamins away, but then, I need to do this. And the dishes are still sitting there 2 hours later, and you've worked your way into the living room.
Doing something else and not finishing any of it.
Yes. And I still kind of have that tendency, but I don't do it to that extent anymore. So there's not a squirrel anymore. I'm more focused, and I've also noticed big time that I can, if a problem does arise, I can reason through it a whole lot better. My first instinct, and not that I did it, but my first instinct always used to be, to ask one of my kids. They're both grown, and they would gladly help me and I'm not saying I just nagged them to death, because most of the time I would just suffer through whatever it was. But I've just found that now I can just reason through something and just take care of it myself, and not even, it doesn't occur to me to call them, either one of them, about it. I just am like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to call the water company, and then I need to call and find out if the insurance covers this, and I just reason through it. And it's not that the situation is pleasant. It's just that I can just step by step go through it, and it just makes it so much easier to go through. It's not fun, but you just make it through it, and it's just a million times better, just more peaceful, just more calm and peace in your life. For me, it has, anyway. And I used to suffer from anxiety big time, like panic attack type anxiety. Not saying I have had it constantly, but it would like fluctuate like periodically in my life. And I never really knew exactly what it was that triggered it. Looking back, it could be food triggered it. I'm not really sure though, but I haven't had any anxiety attacks at all since I've been carnivore. And that was, I don't know my exact carniversary, so I'm just going to say the day after Christmas, because it was right at that time when my neighbor brought that big giant box of meat. So yeah, that's how I stumbled into carnivore. Was I was already basically ketovore anyway. I wasn't eating very many vegetables. I was already very low carb, and just sort of stumbled into carnivore. So yeah, I'm going to say that the 26th is my carniversary, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So if anybody was observing through their Ring camera and it's like, no, he brought that over on the 27th, then okay. Anyway.
All right, guys. So we've been going for a little over an hour now. Let's go around here. We're gonna start closing things out. If you guys got any more questions, now's the time to throw them in there. Put a queue in front of them. Let us know what your questions are. We're here to answer questions, let you know what's going on. And then we're going to be back next Sunday with another roundtable. And we're going to have Dr. Lisa Wiedemann here the Sunday after that, which is December the 17th. We will be skipping the 24th for Christmas, but I'm going to have a New Year's Eve live stream on the 31st. And, I'm looking to get people signed up for that, and I'm looking to have a good conversation with everybody. So those are things that are coming up. Let's do around the table here. Carrie, give us some final thoughts. What do you got on your mind? Things that you want to share with people, and we'll work our way around here.
Well, I just would really like to get, I guess, to say that, wow, it just like my train of thought just kind of totally derailed there. So that's a real good advertisement, right? But people, give yourselves grace. I know the holidays, we had Thanksgiving, and now we have Christmas coming up, and we're all human. And that's not to give yourself an excuse to just say, oh, I'm going to, go off the rails and deal with it later. But at the same time, if you do that, be kind to yourself, and then seek out support. You can always come to, send me a post on my channel, or, send me an email. My email address is the same as my, my identity here on YouTube. So, I'm at Gmail, or reach out to any of the communities. Just reach out to someone and get some support. We all, I know I'm speaking for myself, but I believe I can speak for everybody else too, that we do support each other, and any of us here today would be glad to hear from someone who's struggling. Mm-hmm. So just know that, and do have grace for yourself, and reach out if you feel like you need to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brett, what's your final thoughts? What's on your mind, sir?
Oh, just, coming up into the Christmas time and Hanukkah and, everything, whatever you celebrate out there, just try to do it responsibly and be safe, and have a great end of your year, and try to stay focused. If you're carnivore, if you're thinking about trying carnivore, give it a try. If you're doing it and you slip up during the holidays, like Carrie said, forgive yourself and get back on track, and just keep up with the good fight, and try to keep your mind focused on your health. And if you got any questions, reach out to any one of our channels. Any one of us are be happy to talk to anybody. So
Absolutely. Kat, what's your final thoughts? What do you got to say?
Really, the same thing both Carrie and Brett said. I always say, give yourself grace. The holidays are well, I'm trying to focus myself, instead of it being food related, family related, and being thankful for the people that are around me in my life, and just trying to focus on that instead of the food. And I feel like that might actually help, kind of get through these really hard times. And like both Carrie and Brett said, if anybody needs, heck, if you just want to message me to tell me about your weather, I absolutely adore listening to other people and having them reach out. It just tickles me that that anybody even wants to hear anything I have to say. So, I'm just like, wow, there's people watching me right now. But if anything, if you have any kind of questions, or even and I'm not trying to like plug my channel, because that's not what this is about, but like if anybody even just wants to come on and tell their story, I'm starting a live too. I know John and Carrie, I don't know if you or Brett do, but even if you're not a YouTuber and you just want to come in and share your story, reach out to us, because we absolutely love to be able to do that. Again, I can't say it better than Carrie or Brett. Give yourself grace. You guys, you're never a failure until you quit trying. And so don't beat yourself up over falling off the wagon. Just jump back on there and just keep going forward. And eventually, I think that it's all going to work out. I hope anyways.
Outstanding. Speaking of which, and I almost forgot about this and everybody talking about it, I am having a Zoom call on Wednesday the 6th. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Anybody's welcome to join. It is free. If you just want to come and ask questions about the diet or talk about things that you're going on, just to help you, get through some struggles, whatever it is, both me and JT will be on the call. And everybody's invited to come in there, and we're just having a conversations, not recorded, not going to be live streamed on YouTube. It's just a private conversation amongst friends. So that, once again, that is the December 6th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And you can go to my Mighty link, and I can send that to you if you need it, to get it, the link to go to the Zoom call. And I'd love to have you there. So throw that out there. And then a couple of things that I got coming that you guys might want to be part of is I have Coach Bronson be on a one-on-one live interview with me here in Wednesday the 13th from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you want to, we've got questions of Coach Bronson and exercise and stuff like that, definitely you should check that out. I have Aaliyah Wells on the 14th from 8 p.m. to 9:30. So I'm looking forward to that. We've been scheduled this out for quite a while, and so I'm looking forward to having a conversation with her. And that's pretty much my December as a stand. Well, no, correction. I got one more here. Thursday, December the 28th, Christy from Meeting Wellness and me are going to be having a live one-on-one. So definitely check those out. I'll have those scheduled and up, and love to interact with all of you guys. And we appreciate you guys for being here. We're back on track now. We're going to start getting the Carnivore Roundtable every Sunday, like I said, except for Christmas. We're going to skip that one, but then we'll be back on track. I'm reaching out and going to be talking to some of the doctors about being on here for some roundtables. So I will keep you guys abreast of that as it comes up, and looking forward to you, and we'll see you on the next video. You guys all have a good night.
You
Bye,
too.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank you very